Quickly going through. Sorry for the delay of this episode. I know that episode 7 is coming out tonight. Let's get to it. We're going to be reviewing episode number 5 today. Episode number 5 is entitled Oxygen, and it was written by Jamie Mattis. How do you say his name? He was the one who wrote Flatline and Mummy on the Orient Express, and he also wrote The Woman Who Died. The girl who died so last year would Stephen Moffat. So essentially the Doctor gives a bit of a lecture about space, and that's how we start the episode. But before we do, we go to the people who want to have a baby, but the man doesn't hear the woman because the comm system is down. Then the woman gets taken by the space zombies, I guess you could call them, which means a simple touch and you're dead. Then the man discovers that the zombies are following him. Then we go into the opening titles. Then we had the Doctor's lecture about space, which I have to say, it was so nice to see the Doctor lecturing again, because it was actually quite enjoyable. And in the end he drew a skull and he drew like a skull on the board. You can't quite see it in this shot, but you can kind of get what I mean. And then he's asked by a student what this has to do with what they're supposed to be studying, which I think was clock rotation. And he says, well, space is just great. There you go, you can see the skull and crossbones on that shot. Right there. Then, of course, Nardole says to the Doctor, he's like, you're missing it, aren't you? Space. Then, Nardole confronts the Doctor, saying, I think you're going to go on another trip. And we then see the Doctor staring out of his window, looking at the stars. Then, after that, what happens? Doctor and Bill end up in the TARDIS and are about to go on an adventure. But then, Nardole arrives. Oh, no, sorry, wait. Bill's not... Oh, here we go, here he is. He's taking something from the TARDIS, which apparently won't make it work. But the Doctor lied. Rule number 1, the Doctor lies. People never forget that. Moving on now to the next bit, they go to this space station, which has been sending out a distress call, and they discover that that this is a space station, obviously. Then they discover the fact that there is only personal use... oxygen, for personal use only. And then they discover a suit without a head in, which is quite, or body in really, which is quite spooky. Then the Doctor talks about keeping their adrenaline factors up, because apparently that helps. Then the suit comes to life and steals the Doctor's sonic screwdriver, and thus destroys it, and mangles it completely unusable. Then they go and try and get to where the remaining survivors are, the 4 remaining survivors, and the Doctor confronts them saying, why didn't they open the door sooner? Then Bill meets a blue guy, and she's rendered as a racist, which I think was quite funny. Then they run to the core, this guy gets taken, and he turns into a zombie. Then they go to the airlock, put the costumes on, put their helmets on, but Bill's suit is taking a helmet off. So, what are we going to do? How are we going to resolve this issue? Well, the Doctor ends up giving Bill his helmet. But as you can see in this shot, Bill kind of dies, but doesn't, if that makes sense. But the Doctor ends up giving Bill his helmet so that she can survive. However, shock horror, there's something that's happened to the Doctor. He is now blind, ladies and gentlemen, yes. And this is something that will carry on, but I'll talk about that more about that later. Yes, the Doctor is now blind, which is a bit of a disadvantage to him, but oh well, he can still work. Then the suits find them, and they take away Blue Peter. And then, yeah, this is just another shot of him being taken. And then, the Doctor has to leave Bill, because Bill's suit is stuck, basically, he can't move. Nice little shot of the Doctor with his blind eyes. Then, Bill gets taken by the suits, and dies. Dun 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 dun. Dies again. She's died twice in this episode. Anyways, moving swiftly on to the next part, what I wanted to talk about. Then they all go into this room, and the Doctor explains that the distress call wasn't an actual distress call, it's just a replacement. Because this is all a business thing. This is all a business-related opportunity. The Doctor then wires their suits up to the coolant system, so if they're killed, the whole ship blows. Then the suits find them, and they all come in, and they're like doing the killing sort of motion, like that we are going to kill you. But then the Doctor explains about tells them about how if they were killed, their deaths would be expensive. And the suits suddenly stopped. Yep, they all just stopped because the deaths would be expensive. Then the suits all give them their oxygen, give the survivors the oxygen, and then lo and behold, this is just the bit from the beginning of the episode, the one from the beginning of the episode. But then lo and behold, Bill's not dead. Shock horror, I knew she wouldn't be. And then these two want to make a complaint at head office. Then we go back to the Doctor's office, and our dog gets really serious. It's probably one of my favourite parts of the episode. He says, "Look at me. What would have happened if you would have come back injured?" And he's like, "No, Doe, I can't. I really can't. I'm still." He's like, "I can never look at anything again." And it cuts to black, and it's like, "I'm still blind." Anyway, I'm reviewing this episode alongside other episode 5. We've got Fresh and Stone from series 5. We've got The Angels Take Man, The Rebel Fresh, from series 6 part 1. Series 6 part 2, Closing Time. Series 7 part 1. The Angels Take Manhattan. Series 7 Part 2 is Journey to the Centre of the TARDIS. Series 8 is Time Heist. And Series 9 is The Girl Who Died. We're going to talk a bit more in detail about them in just a So, the ultimate question is, do I feel that any of those episodes could top this one? The only one that I think could potentially top this one would be The Rebel Flesh, because I really like that story, and I just thought it was really good, but I don't know if it would, so that's the only one that could potentially top it in my book. So now it's time to move on to my final thoughts and my scoring. This episode I thought was really good. I thought the whole idea of the suits and it being a corporate nightmare was a really good story. I thought this was an excellent return to form for Jamie however the hell you say his name, after his last episode when a bit belly flopped on the floor when he wrote with Stephen Moffat. However, I do feel that this episode obviously wasn't perfect, as no episode of Doctor Who is, but I do think this was on par with Flatline and Mummy on the Orient Express back in 2014. I give this episode a 9.2 out of 10 because I think it was, like I say, pretty good. I'd even go as far as I could say it was pretty excellent, but as I say, there are a few things that are a bit cliche. You all got your indisposable characters that you hardly ever hear. You've got your few cliches, but so yeah. 9.2 out of 10 is my score, and I do hope you have enjoyed this review. Sorry it's a bit late. I will be doing a review, a plot summary, and an independent review of Extremis later on today. And then I'll be doing, hopefully tomorrow morning, I might try and get it done tonight before I go to bed, my independent review of, what would it be? It will be The Pyramid at the End of the World. And I'll probably at the end of that one summarise it as a two-parter, because I know it's a three-parter, but summarise it as a two-parter. And then obviously acknowledge the fact that I've got another episode to come. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Do hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you on the next episode of Reviewing Doctor Who, guys. Expect more Doctor Who videos that aren't just reviews on the channel in the near future. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.